For decades, Hollywood insiders whispered about the strange, silent tension between two of its most magnetic stars, Robert Mitchum and Marilyn Monroe. But now, years after her tragic death, Robert Mitchum's long-hidden reflections have finally come to light, and what he revealed has left fans utterly speechless. Sitting in an interview filmed not long before his passing, the tough, unshakable man known for his rugged charm and rebel heart finally spoke with a kind of raw honesty no one expected. "People never really knew Marilyn," he began, his gravelly voice trembling slightly. "They saw the beauty, the smile, the dresses, but they never saw the pain behind those eyes." He recalled working with her on the 1954 film River of No Return, where she was already struggling under the pressure of fame and the studio system's relentless control. She'd walk on set with that smile everyone loved, but when the cameras stopped rolling, her hands would shake, he said. She was terrified of being forgotten, terrified of not being good enough. Mitchum admitted that at first, he didn't understand her fragility. He thought she was just another star lost in her own world, but after a late-night conversation during filming in the cold Canadian wilderness, everything changed. "She told me she never felt loved," he said quietly. "Not by the men in her life, not by the industry, sometimes not even by herself." He paused, remembering the look in her eyes that night, the same eyes that had captivated millions. "There was a loneliness in her that fame could never fill," he said, his voice breaking. Mitchum confessed that he had seen the way studio executives treated her, as a product, not a person, and it haunted him for years. "She wanted to be taken seriously," he explained. "She wanted to be respected for her mind, but Hollywood wasn't built for women like her. It chewed them up and called it glamour." The two developed an unlikely friendship during filming, one built not on romance, but on mutual understanding. "She could be infuriating," Mitchum chuckled softly, "but she could also be the kindest soul you'd ever meet. She'd bring coffee to the crew at 5 a.m. just to make sure no one felt unseen." Yet even as their friendship deepened, Mitchum noticed her drifting further into a darkness he couldn't reach. "She was surrounded by people, but she was always alone," he said. "I tried to help, but she didn't want help. She wanted peace." When Marilyn died in 1962, the world was shocked, but Mitchum wasn't. "I wasn't surprised," he admitted somberly. "Just heartbroken. I'd seen it coming. The business had already broken her spirit." For years afterward, Mitchum avoided talking about her, not out of anger, but out of respect. "She was more than a tragedy," he said. "I didn't want my words turned into headlines." But as time passed and he neared the end of his own life, he realized he owed her the truth. "If people remember me for anything," he said, "I want them to know that Marilyn Monroe wasn't what they thought she was. She was stronger than any of us gave her credit for." He smiled faintly, eyes glistening with tears. "She fought every day just to be seen as a real person. That's bravery." In his final reflection, he said something that stunned even the interviewer. "If there's a heaven, I hope she finally got the quiet she was looking for." The room fell silent, and for a moment, the tough Hollywood icon seemed vulnerable, just a man mourning a friend he could never save. When the footage surfaced years later, fans flooded social media with messages of love and grief, calling Mitchum's words the most honest tribute Marilyn had ever received. Old clips of the two together resurfaced, their chemistry now seen in a new, bittersweet light. Robert Mitchum's silence had lasted for decades, but when he finally spoke, it was with the weight of truth, sorrow, and respect. And in those few heartfelt words, he gave Marilyn Monroe what Hollywood never did: humanity.